Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. Today, we are breaking down our favorite games from every single year we've been alive. It's going to be a really fun discussion. But before we get into that, Nick, how are we feeling?
I'm doing well. I just sort of realized that people on this podcast, if you've watched a lot of these episodes, you know that I'm pretty young. Like, I'm young for somebody talking about games in the way that I get to talk about games and being part of games media and like having these cool experiences and all this stuff. But like the second I say 2001 is when I'm born, people go, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Like this kid's young. He's a 2000s kid. Like what's up with that? But so yeah, I feel like right now it's just tossing out a fun act about me. But you're 96. I have a few games from 96 just to be able to participate in the conversation a little bit. But right now I'm doing well, dude. I'm very tired. 2 days of co-op-a-thon action definitely takes it out of you a little bit, especially playing Halo and it being a very fun campaign, but also just like Brady singing Disney songs in my ear. At a certain point, it's just like, oh, okay, all right. We got to get through this, don't we? Like this has been a long day, buddy. But no, it was a bunch of fun and genuinely, like I get reminded every single time that we do something like the co-op-a-thon about how much. One, I just like playing video games with you and Brady. It's always a blast. Two, how much fun these co-op games really are. Often, even games like Brothers that we both were like 5 out of 10. Man, like it wasn't anything impressive. It was still a fun time and a good excuse to get together, get something out of our backlog, play another game and from a story developer at this point. And yeah, I feel then like getting a game off the backlog just always feels great. So I really have enjoyed this weekend. I'm excited to do tours and have a somewhat of a normal Sunday. We're only shooting the one podcast today, which is just so odd because sometimes we shoot 3 in one day with the co-op pod or something. So it's nice to be able to be like, all right, I'm putting all my energy into this podcast. All of it.
And then you don't have to stream after it. Brady and I have to stream all day.
I know. Here's the unsung hero of this weekend is Brady. Brady is playing the 2 longest games.
Yeah,
like he's playing what we assumed was going to be an 8-hour game. Ended up being about a 6-hour game, which was great, even though stream kind of lasted for 7 hours because we had a false start with not knowing how to go and get the multiplayer to work properly on the Master Chief Collection. But he's playing a 6-hour game. Where do you think you're going to end up with Lego Star Wars time-wise?
7 hours, probably.
I'm going to go and say you're out of my apartment at 10 p.m.
It's so funny because when I think of my experience playing Lego Star Wars as a kid, it felt so like grand and vast, and there were like it felt way longer than 6 hours. Like I feel like I put 20, 30 hours into this game as a kid, probably just from replaying it or like unlocking all the different characters and stuff or trying to 100% it. But I'm shocked that it's that short. But I imagine it's going to go a little bit longer with Brady and I.
It's going to go, I assume you're going to get going around 2. And if there's any slowing down from 2 to 4 p.m., watch out. Like when you go and it's like 4 p.m. and you pull up a walkthrough and it's like a 5.5 hour walkthrough and you're only like 48 minutes in and you've been playing for 2 hours, that's the type of energy I think that there might be on the stream.
When I was driving over here, I was thinking about this. My curiosity is, has Brady seen the prequel Star Wars movies? I don't know.
That's a great question.
This might be how he's experiencing those stories, which I find very funny. And as somebody who does not like the prequels, this is probably for the best.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun time. I think that the way that the humor is in this game and the story is told, I think it's a good time. So I'm not too upset about it. But basically, sort of what I'm realizing is if this is about a 6.5 hour game, you're really just watching basically the trilogy. Like that's about 6.5 hours right there. So would you enjoy a weekend of watching the trilogy with Brady? That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Well, probably not the first 3 or the prequel 3. I think
or the sequels for that matter.
I would prefer to watch the prequels than the sequels.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoy 7. I think that 8 has a lot of good Star Wars in it, a lot of bad Star Wars in it, and then 9 is a dumpster fire. But I think 1 and 2 are some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
3 is palatable. And so, like, with that in mind, I feel like I would lean towards the sequels. Neither of them are ideal, though.
I'd rather watch a really bad movie with fun lightsabers in it than a just movie that I don't feel anything about. Which, like, when it comes to 8, I dislike 8. It has a couple fine moments, whatever.
It
9
has some
for
of
me,
the best Star Wars moments, dude. It
9
really does.
for me is very much the Fast and Furious of the Star Wars franchise. I say it all the time, and I can go and watch that movie all day long.
9 viscerally upsets me.
Yeah. But the second that you accept what 9 is, and you just got to accept it, you're going to have a lot better of a time.
I don't want to accept it.
I understand. But if you do accept it, like I'm watching this movie, I'm 30 minutes in, and all of a sudden I literally get the same exact emotion that I get from when I'm watching Fast and Furious and I see like Ludacris fly through the air and land on the hood of a car. And for some reason, he just dropped like 20 stories, but he landed on the hood of a car, so he's okay. Like, it's like, okay, we have these rules that are now in the Star Wars universe between the mess that is 7 and 8. They have to go and set out on trying to finish up this trilogy in some sort of fashion. It's a mess.
How did they not?
Mess.
How did they not have a plan going into this? I just can't believe that. And 9 is like the poster child for that whole situation. It's just like, what are we doing here?
You know, there's this thing in Hollywood that's just not smart, and it's going and writing movies and greenlighting movies without a great script and a great plan and good incubation on a direction of where you're trying to go, especially for these long-running franchises. That's what's impressive about what I think James Gunn is doing and is going to do, with the fact that he's like, yeah, we had one of these movies was greenlit. The script didn't work out. We're not going to go and try to figure this out with a shit script. We're just not going to do that. Whereas I think that Star Wars, they're like, we got a date literally in 2 years that we said we were going to go produce a movie. It's like,
Make it happen.
Yeah, it's tough, but no. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited to get into hot takes, and I'm excited to get into housekeeping, which that's an odd statement, Connor, to us. So what we got for housekeeping today?
This show is made possible by all of our lovely supporters over on Patreon. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early, and you can get a bonus episode of the podcast every single week. Nick is doing a Q&A. If you want to write in questions for that Q&A, you can join the Discord, which we will talk about later. We also have Recollecting Retro and the Co-op 64 podcast at that higher tier, the $10 tier, and you get 2 additional TikToks every other week at that tier as well. You get your name read at the end of each and every podcast, and you get the opportunity to write in to the Co-op 64 podcast at that highest tier. We appreciate all the support over there. It really does mean the world to us. Extra Life, one of our major streams for the year. We do the Co-op 64 Day at the beginning of the year, which is a 24-hour stream. Then in August, we do Extra Life, which is a charity stream supporting Cincinnati Children's Hospital. August 23rd, 24 hours of streaming starting at 10 a.m.
Yep. Maybe 11, but one of those two, yeah.
Okay. So mark your calendars for it. It's a really great cause. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans, playing games, hanging out with me, Brady, and Nick. So yeah.
Real quick, just a reminder. During this piece of hardware will be going up for the first time in 8 months. I've been able to hold the title as the best gamer in Co-op 64. I feel like there's so many people that watch the podcast that have never seen this belt, obviously. But maybe we just take it the entire duration of this entire show with me wearing this belt the entire time. Because at the end of the day, there's one thing that is more true than anything else. You can say that I just won this one time and I'm not the best gamer in Co-op 64. But you guys had the option. You guys had the chance to challenge me anytime in the past 8 months. You just had to beat Metal Gear Solid 3. Brady just had to beat Hi-Fi Rush. And you decided to sit on your hands and wait. And I've just been waiting patiently at the top of this mountain, ready to slay down any challenger that comes my way. So yes, this piece of hardware will be going back up on Extra Life. The gauntlet will return. This will be another one of those situations where Connor and Brady will find a way to complain immensely after I beat them again. And it's going to be a great time. So you're not going to want to miss it. I am the best gamer at Co-op 64. And Extra Life, by the way, is 10 a.m. I do remember that is solidified. 10 a.m., August 23rd. It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it. Great cause. But also, I'm a great gamer. So, yeah, there we go.
I'm just hedging my bets here that I might lose this time, but but I'm going to beat Metal Gear Solid after the fact, and I'll have a second shot.
What if Brady wins the belt?
He can have it. He won't be as annoying as you are about it, so he can have it for a while.
Dude, the second Brady makes that challenge, though, I'm going to stay up till 4 a.m. for the straight week.
What game is Brady going to choose? Super Monkey Ball?
Probably. And I'm going to go and get a copy of Super Monkey Ball, and then you're going to be like, Nick, you can't borrow my copy for some reason. Then I'm going to buy a GameCube, play Super Monkey Ball, beat it in a week, and then do what, Connor? Challenge him again. Because the true heart of a champion is not when you get knocked down, Connor. It's how you get back up.
Over on the Twitch side of things for this week, Monday and Tuesday are flipped. So Monday will be Nick playing Super Mario Sunshine. Tuesday will be all of us hanging out, starting Jack and Daxter, Brady on the sticks. And then Wednesday, normal stream, Metal Gear Solid 3 with me. Thursday, Nick back with Super Mario Sunshine.
Or if anyone wants to do anything else other than play Mario Sunshine, I can be convinced.
Discord, we have a community of over 2,700 community members. If you want to join up, make friends, hang out with us in there. We also put all of our fan-submitted forms in there. So if you want to write in for the Q&A, you want to decide what is going to be the next fan-voted list, write in for poorly described plots, submit your top 5 for grading your top 5. You can do that all in the Discord. Merch, we have t-shirts, hoodies, mugs. You can support the channel that way. And leave us nice reviews over on Apple Podcast Services. It gets the show out to more people, and we'd really appreciate that. All right.
You ready?
Let's get into the hot takes. Nick, what do we got?
My video game hot take is this whole Hollow Knight business. It's come around one more time to be very funny. Like, we've been up and down on this wave where I think at the very start of this year, I was angry. I was sad. I was just annoyed at the fact that every single thing that is so good and pure, like a Xbox Developer Direct and the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2, is being brought down by this Hollow Knight cloud that is just above us. But right now, we've come back around one more time before we will most likely get this announced at Gamescom to being freaking funny. It's funny. It's okay. This team's working hard. They're trying to make a cool game. People are still losing their fucking mind. At this point, you just got to shrug your shoulders and laugh it off a little bit. It's okay. I think that it's obviously, like, it's always been good fun and funny, but legitimately at this point, if you still have like gripping hope to every single small Nintendo Indie Direct and partner showcase, and you're just like, I need it that level, it's like, dude, there's so many great other games out there. Go play something else. It'll happen when it happens. It's pretty funny at this point. So yeah, that's my hot take, but not just a hot take. I just think that it's something I need to get off my chest, because after this Nintendo Indie Direct, I was like, we're going into this expecting this here? Yeah. No, we're not doing that. And people reasonably had like lower expectations this time, but then I go on social media and it's just my entire timeline is lit up. We didn't get it again. I'm like, it's okay that we didn't get it. I understand that why we didn't get it.
We just saw it twice
this
in
year?
The span of like 6 months at the Xbox Showcase and at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
That's what I'm saying. And so we're chilling. We are going to get this at Gamescom. I'm trying to dial up an exact prediction and something to do for if we don't get it at Gamescom, but I feel like betting on Hollow Knight is always a bad bet. No, I will not do the Connor putting a shoe in my mouth, literally due to going and tossing out wild predictions. But no, I think that it's going to happen at Gamescom. It's playable at Gamescom at multiple different booths. Like, it's going to be there. With that being said, though, my hope is that for the next week going into it, we can talk about some other games. I like Gamescom a whole bunch. I think that that's been a killer showcase last year and everything. So let's go and enjoy hopefully talking about what's next beyond just Hollow Knight Silksong, and be able to sort of sink into the fact that going forward, we're probably less than a week or less than 2 weeks away from this thing being announced and being awesome. So it's funny. Let's laugh it off. Let's go and wipe the dust off our shoulders a little bit, and let's get ready for game time on Gamescom.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I'm not on the roller coaster for this game. I like the first Hollow Knight quite a bit. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really excited that people are very excited.
Yeah.
But I am frustrated that everybody's very frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like I don't want all the conversation to be around Hollow Knight for every single direct or every single Xbox showcase. I'm like, like you said, there's so many other games to be excited about in the meantime. But I understand the frustration at this point. It's getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I just think about the fact that if this was Final Fantasy VII Remake and it's 2029 and we don't get a dev update or something like that, I'd be pretty pissed too. So like, I get it. Fandom is a good thing. Being passionate about video games is a good thing. But at a certain point, like, I think that we've gone through almost every single stage of grief. And we've entered acceptance. And right as we accept it and say, yes, this will pass. It's going to happen when it happens. We're finally going to go and get that amazing moment. Is there a chance it's not a Gamescom? I would say that there's a legitimate, like, 100% chance. Like, because it's playable and it's this year still, and they've been adamant about being this year, there's not another spot it could really be in unless you're talking Nintendo Direct in September. But the
could
fact
it show
that
up at a State of Play?
Could.
It's
associated so well with Xbox and even Nintendo to some level where it got announced at Hollow Knight 1 got announced, I believe, at an Indie World Showcase, or back in the day, I believe that they were called Nindies for Nintendo Indies. But yeah, like that's sort of the cadence that there is. So, Connor, what is your video game hot take?
My video game hot take is that it's okay to like something just off of pure nostalgia, like a game off of pure nostalgia. But I don't think it's okay to levy that criticism at other people and assume that they only like something because of nostalgia. I see this take get thrown around a lot that, like, for older games, like, oh, you just like it because of nostalgia. And sure, there are some older games that I do like purely just because I have good memories with them. But I think that minimizing somebody's love of something or their ability to critique it because they are just being nostalgic, I think, is a little bit ridiculous. I have points as to why I like something from the 2000s or the 90s or whatever, and I can back up my feelings on that. And maybe there's some baked in nostalgia for some of the games that I played as a kid, like Kingdom Hearts, but then there's games like Ocarina of Time or Final Fantasy IX that I went back to as an adult and didn't like Ocarina of Time as a kid and have no nostalgia for it, and I love that game. But every single time I talk about how great Ocarina of Time is, there's going to be somebody in the comments saying, you just like this because of nostalgia. And I just think that's a little bit ridiculous and really boils down the discussion and the ability for people to discuss older video games. So yeah, that's my take.
I think that there's a couple examples that come to mind recently, obviously, and we've had our fun dunking on Mario Sunshine, and it's a good time, and I've already taken as many shots as I need to take on that game. It's all in good fun at this point, and hopefully that's well understood. With that being said, when talking about this game from a critical standpoint and talking about my feelings on it and how I don't like it as a video game, I've been very receptive to the fact that there's a lot of people that this was their first Mario game on the GameCube. They've heard about Mario 64. They wanted to finally get a system that works for them, and they played Mario Sunshine and they loved it. The amount of people that are like, I love this game, I haven't played it since 2000. I'm like, okay, well, maybe fresh coat of paint, like, or fresh eyes to this. Like, yeah, I think I probably will have a different opinion, and that can make sense. Maybe it is just some nostalgia goggles. The nice part is there are the times that we as gamers can admit that, because I am nostalgic about GoldenEye 007. It's like the prime example for me, where I was 10 years old playing that game and having fun. That game is like janky as hell. Like it does not work properly 9 times out of 10, but it's super fun, and I do have nostalgia for it. Whereas like this is like, I don't think that that's necessarily like an apex, one of the greatest games of all time, though, necessarily. When it comes to Mario Sunshine, though, clearly I don't think that, and there's a lot of people that are like, no, the game's great. And I'm like, okay, I need you to extrapolate, like you said, going down the point. Why do you actually believe this? And if the reason is just I like it, it's hard to go and have that back and forth conversation. But it shouldn't just be boiled down to a conversation all about nostalgia. Let's talk about the game, you know?
Yeah, and oftentimes when people talk about Mario 64 and Sunshine, people are like, well, 64 has all the same issues Sunshine has, but people have nostalgia for that game, so it gets a pass. And it's like, I don't agree with that at all. As somebody who went and played 64, like, as in 2020, so like I was like 23, 24. Like, I think that game holds up incredibly well, and I have no nostalgia for it. I played it on the DS and didn't like it. and then played it at friends' houses on the N64, and once again didn't like it, and then played it as an adult and was like, this is great, and I think it holds up incredibly well. I do love Sunshine, or like Sunshine from what I've played. Excuse me. So I think that it's unfair to say that people are just levying criticism at Sunshine that they wouldn't at 64 just because of nostalgia.
And then my other point is the one that comes up the most towards me out of all the video game takes I have. I understand that there's a lot of personality that comes along with myself, and I just don't shut the fuck up about Forza Horizon 5 and all those like small things. But the number one thing is people that are like, you love Final Fantasy 7 just because you grew up with it. And I'm like, dude, no.
Right.
Like, I played this game when I was 19 years old for the remake. I didn't play FF7 OG for a long time. I fell in love with those characters in such a different way than so many people that adore the Final Fantasy 7 franchise and branding and all that stuff, where this is, for me, like the remake crew is my crew when it comes to this stuff, and I don't have any nostalgia for it, but people just go and levy Final Fantasy, especially I would just say the entire series at this point, to being nostalgic, and I don't necessarily agree with that at all, because for me a lot of my takes are that the modern Final Fantasies are the best Final Fantasies. So yeah.
All right, hopping into the main topic, we are talking about our favorite games from each year we've been alive. Shout out to Liam Neville for sending a list from his backlogged in our Discord that inspired this video. I saw that topic, thought it was really interesting, asked him if we could use it on the pod, and here we are. So yeah, shout out to him for the inspiration for this episode. We're going to go from 96, the year that I was born. I'm going to go talk about my favorite game from that year. I also brought a runner-up. Nick has listed off some games from the years that I was alive, that he was not alive, and we're going to have a back and forth discussion there. We're going to go all the way to 2013, because 2014 we did our what should have won game of the year episode a few weeks ago, which we kind of went in depth on each of those years and our favorite games from those years. So it felt a little bit redundant to go and have like a big discussion on 2014 to 2024. But we're going to list off our games for those years still, just really quick. But the broader discussion is going to be from 96 to 2013. Do you want to just get right into this, or anything else to say on that?
We probably have the same one for 96.
My favorite game from 1996 is Super Mario 64.
I also have that one listed.
It's funny, we just talked about it for the hot take. So
game's brilliant. It's are you out of 10 with it, Mario 64?
No.
Yeah.
I still think it's the best 3D platformer, though.
More so than Astrobot.
It's right there.
Yeah. Like, I think that we're in a really fun conversation with platformers nowadays when it comes to the elite of the elite, where if someone says Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, Mario Odyssey, Astrobot, even something a little bit more obscure like It Takes Two is the best platformer, or what was the eyebrow raise there? It Takes Two is totally a 3D platformer. That game is mostly about platforming.
It is a 3D platformer. I don't look at It Takes Two and say, that's got some good platforming in it.
That's true.
Like,
That's fair.
It has solid platforming, but the thing that makes that game so special is the co-op experience, not the platforming.
And if anyone had any of those takes, I'd be fine with it. For me, my cup of tea is Mario 64. It is probably my favorite retro game. It's one of the best games ever, and it is a 10 for me. Like, it might be the 10 that I have that has the most flaws. Like, I don't think that we always say with 10s that it's not a perfect game by any means.
Yeah.
But like, when it comes to, there is times that the camera's not perfect.
There's some levels I don't really love necessarily. Swimming, I'm not a big fan of in this game.
Totally. But when it's hitting, it hits real hard. Like, it's pretty unbelievable. So
there's a reason this is one of like the most prolific speedrunning games of all time. You can break it open, but also it just controls so beautifully. And as I said, I played it in 2020. I think it still controls so well today. I going through this game and going through the different paintings, the different levels, seeing the different environments, experiencing the music, I think it holds up really well from a visual perspective. I know that like this is a very early 3D game, but you look at Final Fantasy VII and how polygonal everything is in comparison to that. I think this is really pretty impressive. It just really is carried by that beautiful art design that I think does make it hold up and make it a little bit timeless from that perspective. But
You got a runner-up for this year that you want to toss out there?
I threw out Resident Evil, but I've only played the remake, so it feels like a bit of a cop-out, but that would be my number 2.
DKC 3 is also this year, right?
Yeah.
So you're going
That's the
RE?
weakest of the 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also want to shout out Mario Kart 64. When you're talking about games with nostalgia, I think that might be one of my most nostalgic type games where I think Mario Kart 64 is like a 7 out of 10 game. Like, I think it's good. Like, I think it's one of the weakest Mario Kart games by quite a bit, but music, tracks, it still works. I think that there's a lot of fun to be had there. I would just say it's good. With that being said, those music, those tracks, great time. A lot of nostalgia for it. So, but yeah, Mario 64 was my pull there.
I'm not a big Mario 64
I know.
guy.
What would you score Mario Kart 64? Is it below a 7?
Like a 5.
Okay.
Maybe a 6.
Okay. Just wondering. All right. What do you got for 1997?
I have Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I played this game a couple years ago for the first time and was absolutely blown away. This game has the sauce. This might be the best looking game of all time. I'm not joking. This pixel art is gorgeous. It is timeless. The music in this game, I had an anecdote when I was talking about it on what we've been playing, that I would get into a new area and be like, this is one of the best video game songs I've ever heard. This has to be the best song in the game, right? And then I would get to the next area and I'm like, oh, they did it again. It's just so good from a music standpoint. I think that the enemy designs are really interesting and weird. I think from like a story perspective, from like a broad story perspective, it's pretty interesting, but the voice acting is very mid and very memed on, but I still think that it drags you through this environment really well. The twist in the middle of this game is legendary. If you know, you know. If you don't, keep it that way until you've played it. I love Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It is one of the easiest recommends I can possibly give to anybody. There's a reason that when people are talking about Metroidvanias, it's this game and Super Metroid. Those are like the tentpole games for the entire genre. I love this game, and I am so mad that I took so long to eventually play it. You have to get around to it, please. I am begging you.
Yeah, I was supposed to play it this year. And then games go long on stream.
Yeah.
This was one that I literally had in our schedule for the longest time, and I was like, well, I want to get through Final Fantasy X this year, and I still have Ocarina to play and Mario Sunshine, and so it did get moved. But I want to play this game. I think I'm going to find time to play it in November, December-ish, just due to the fact that like November, December, as of right now, they're pretty cool. We're pretty cool on time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully I find a little bit of time to do so. Maybe that's a Monday stream that I take over for when you and Brady are in busy season. Because that's normally when I take on the sticks for the year and really make sure that I'm the one playing the game, just due to the fact that sometimes you and Brady want the night off or whatever, or just need a break. And so maybe that's how we do that. And then that way you can come over, we can shoot the breeze, talk about some retro shit. It'll be a good time. Do you have a runner-up?
Do you have a winner? For this year?
Yeah, for me it's GoldenEye 007. Okay. So it's my favorite game from that year. Final Fantasy VII is that year. My favorite game is GoldenEye. Tekken 3 is that year. My favorite game is GoldenEye. Like, I love GoldenEye so much. I was talking to a buddy of mine that I haven't talked to.
That's pure nostalgia.
Yeah, and it's pure nostalgia. We're doing the favorite games sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like, and when I ask Arnold all the time, like, favorite, cool. For me, that allows there to be an immense amount of nostalgia in this. But I don't think GoldenEye is this terrific video game.
I think the nostalgia like brings up my feeling on GoldenEye for sure. But even having played it recently, I'm like, it's still a lot of fun.
You can have so much fun playing this game. There's about 5 minutes every time I've picked up this game in the past 15 years. Not 15. I'm only 24. Probably 10 years. Where I go and say, this game sucks. And everyone looks around and says, this game kind of sucks. And then you sink into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And you go, oh shit, I'm having a good time right now. And then you go, oh snap, I'm having a great time right now.
It's almost great because it sucks.
Yeah.
Where it like feels terrible, but everybody's in that same experience at the same time where nobody's able to control it well, that it makes it fair.
Yeah. And I hate, and so this is just contradicting myself. I hate when people are like, I like Bethesda games because of the jank that's in them. And I'm like, that's a ridiculous take. Why would you want to play something with jank in it? Then I talk about GoldenEye 007. I'm like, I kind of get it. I like that take quite a bit.
My runner-up is Diddy Kong Racing.
Yep.
Arguably the greatest racing game of all time, behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why do more racing games not copy the campaign for this? It's so good. You have all your different races, then you have like a fucking boss battle at the end that is super fucking challenging. I played it semi recently, right after I got the N64 from you. This was the game that I first booted up and like was actually like grinding away on and trying to beat. And it's tough as fucking nails. These boss battle races are so intense and so fun. But even just playing against other people in your different kart types, where you have like the hovercrafts, you have your planes in your basic karts. So like you have a variety of gameplay across all of those. I think that like the items that you get are super unique and fun to utilize. I think that the track layouts and like the way that they look, immaculate, really great. I don't even understand. I cannot wrap my head around the idea that anybody would prefer Mario Kart 64 to Diddy Kong Racing that has played both of them.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
But like, there are definitely people who feel that way. But it's wild to me. I think this game's great. I think it holds up incredibly well. Like I said, I played it a few years ago, had a blast with it. I think I would like another one of these games at some point, but I don't think it's really necessary because I think it's just so fun to play this one. So yeah, I think that this is, alongside Mario Party 2, like the party game for me when it comes to the N64. That, and I guess the GoldenEye 007 as well. But yeah, I love Diddy Kong Racing so much.
All right, Connor. Moving on to 98.
Tough one here. But we are going to go with Parasite Eve.
Whoa.
What do you think I was going to pick?
It's 98, dude. The top end of this year is ridiculous. I don't know, like Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, one of those two, but you're going with Parasite Eve.
Fuck, okay, yeah, sorry. I'm still going to go with Parasite Eve, but my runner-up is going to change. I have Ocarina of Time written down, but I would prefer Metal Gear Solid.
I think, that makes sense. But so Parasite Eve is your winner, though. Where are you going? Why Parasite Eve over the two classics?
Just played this for the first time at the start of this year. Didn't know what to expect going into it. Didn't know Yoko Shimomura did the soundtrack for it. I had heard like kind of what the gameplay was, that it like mixes in ATB with like real time, like running around and like shooting and stuff. And it's just an experience that I'll never forget when it comes to the really wacky story. The visual design, I think, is so good with some of the like the pre-rendered backgrounds and just the aesthetic of this world. I just really sunk into it. And then you have that soundtrack from Yoko Shimomura like highlighting everything. The battle theme in this game is so fucking good, dude. Like I found myself immediately pulling it up on YouTube like after streams and like playing the music from this game. Like I was that obsessed with it. I think from like a story perspective, it's really weird. It's kind of difficult to follow, but I like that weird wackiness from my JRPGs, which I guess is technically qualifies for a JRPG. Like you open up a menu and you like have to like pick through like your different abilities, like your cure and stuff. So it's just weird to see a lot of those like Final Fantasy terminologies in a game where you're like playing as a cop, like in, I guess, modern day New York City at the time. But it's a really cool like melding of those two worlds, and I really enjoy that. This game, I think, is probably not for everybody. Is it like I can poke holes in it probably. I don't think like the gameplay is necessarily like the most fun gameplay. I just think it's really unique and interesting, and it's carried also by the visual identity, that music, and the wacky story. So yeah.
My answer is Metal Gear Solid. This is one of the greatest games of all time. Going through these years, I was like, okay, am I gonna have 4 Metal Gear Solid games? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that they're all runner-ups at least. Like, yeah, that's what we're talking about here. They're that fucking good. Kojima's the GOAT. Greatest to ever do it. He's kind of like me, actual life. You're going to want to be there. Greatest game, Co-op 64. But yeah, no, he's so freaking good. And this game is probably, to some level, still his magnum opus. Like, this is boss fights, story design, well-written characters. Taking snapshots of just characters that are so interesting, and only having them be around for 10 minutes and be like, they're still like that 10 minutes is more interesting than some characters' entire arcs in the entire AAA modern day video games. Like, he's so freaking good. And Metal Gear Solid 1 is so freaking good and still very fun to play today. Play it on the collection. But yeah, do you have anything for Metal Gear?
I mean, I fucking love Metal Gear Solid, obviously. And I think now having played 3, we might be in a Sly 1 to Sly 2 situation with how I might feel about Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 3, where I think Metal Gear Solid 1 like is really stripped back in comparison to Metal Gear Solid 3. They add like the eating, the different animals, they add like the camo and everything. They're really like trying to make this whole experience a lot more complex. And I think for you would say that's really immersive and really cool. For me, I feel like this more stripped down experience is more focused and allows you to like really just kind of streamline that gameplay and story. And I prefer that type of experience. And it's very similar to Sly 1 to Sly 2, where I think Sly 1, you have your different levels. It's very digestible, really focused on platforming. Sly 2, you go into these more open areas, and I think it gets a little bit lost in the weeds. And I would say the same for these two games as well. So, yeah, I love Metal Gear Solid a lot. I think that it holds up incredibly well. The biggest thing that I think elevates this whole experience, and I cannot believe it is as good as it is for 98, is the voice acting. Holy shit. Does this game have so much personality and character for a bunch of polygons with no eyes? You know what I mean?
It's so insane,
like Snake is a fully realized character and doesn't even have a full face. Well, he does because you get it in the codex, but like still, it's really cool that they're able to deliver that much emotion through their voice acting on these polygons.
Dude,
I love it.
I'm not trying to like spoil anything, but like Otacons' performance is like ridiculous for modern standards. I'm getting chills talking about it. Like it is. He's not even the star of the show. Some of these villain performances are so well voiced. Like Liquid is unbelievable. Ocelot's like the fun part about Ocelot, who is my favorite character, I've said like best written character in gaming. I love every iteration of Ocelot. This is just such a small snapshot of Ocelot. This isn't the fully fledged Ocelot that we get in Metal Gear Solid 2 at the start and MGS 3.
Who's your favorite villain in MGS 1? Is it Ocelot only because of everything else? But
I think probably because everything else is Ocelot.
If when you first played Metal Gear Solid 1,
Sniper Wolf probably.
Okay, I would say Psycho Mantis.
Yeah,
Psycho Mantis is such a fucking legendary villain.
It's super cool villain, crazy design, all that good stuff. Psycho Mantis is awesome. For me, it's the emotional stake that's alongside Sniper Wolf in their story. Yeah. I love that story. But I mean, Psycho Mantis, that's a great fucking story too. And I think that also Liquid is a really cool and interesting villain.
Yeah, but Vulcan Raven has a minigun.
I mean, Connor and I were talking about Vulcan Raven the other day. I like when we break the fourth wall a little bit. There's the amount of times that Connor and I will just like be in a car together, or we have some sort of like meeting happening or something, and it just breaks down to us talking about Metal Gear Solid bosses way more often than it should be. I love Metal Gear Solid 1. We could talk about this game literally all day. I think if we were to go and do a similar thing to the Easy Allies Hall of Greats, I think that the first thing that would be in there would be Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, I think that's probably the game for both of us that we're like the most passionate about. That like
retro wise, that, for like, sure,
is a piece of history. Like is well beloved like across the board. Not even within just our own takes. Like it's just like a really important like inflection point for gaming, and then we both like just love it to death as well.
Straight up, I think that might actually be the case, which is crazy to think about when there's so many retro games and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, moving on, we have 1999.
Nick and I discussed this before starting this podcast, that this is a weird year for me. I originally had Mario Party 2 as my favorite game from this year, but because the way I did this, I went to backlogged and sorted by year,
smart,
and just like looked at the games that way. And it showed Mario Party 2, but it came out in 99 in December in Japan and in 2000 in January 2000 in the US. So I'm just qualifying it for that for my personal selection here. But so I'm gonna go with Pokemon Snap, a more recent game as well that I played for Return to Retro.
Classic.
Did a review for that.
That was the first Return to Retro, right?
Second.
Okay.
Because Katuru, man.
Oh, yeah. We Connor loved the game so much he made a TikTok series with the Katuru, man.
Well, no, I wanted to do the TikTok series, then I was like, I'll play something short to start. And that game's perfect for that. Pokemon Snap, another great game for it, only like 4 hours. As somebody who grew up enjoying Pokemon, liking the games, but loving the anime, this is a really cool experience because I just like seeing Pokemon being cute in their little environments and kind of relaxing and going through these different environments and taking pictures of them and finding your different ways to get the Pokemon out of hiding so you can take those pictures and doing like the different requirements to unlock the next level. I thought was super fucking fun. This game's breezy, very digestible. I just like seeing Pokemon, so it's the perfect game for that. It reminds me kind of a Detective Pikachu. In a way, because for Detective Pikachu, is that movie great?
No.
Is the plot of it like next level? Absolutely not.
No.
But I like seeing cute Pokemon do cute things or whatever, and seeing them in the real world is kind of uncanny. But also, they were just made really adorable. Yeah. And Pokemon Snap is kind of similar to that. It's really nice to just see them in like full motion because in the Pokemon games, when I played them as a kid, like you get the little sprites, you get them being still there. So I always dreamed of getting into battles or seeing Pokemon develop where battles would be like full motion battles. So that's why I thought Pokemon's Stadium was super cool, but I never played that as a kid. So playing Pokemon Snap, I kind of get that itch scratched. And yeah, I think this game's great. I need to play new Pokemon Snap. I think that game didn't review super well.
I don't think it did,
But I also don't really think that Pokemon Snap, the original, is like this excellent game. Like, it's just really fun, and I really like it a lot.
My take here, this is a rough year just in general. I don't think anyone looks at 1999 as like this goated ass year unless you're really into like Donkey Kong 64 or certain like Silent Hill ones on this year. For me, I was Mario Golf. And it's because I have a few different memories playing Mario Golf, and that's NSO too, right?
We played that recently.
That's one that I may or may not have when I moved up here. Me and Shane played Mario Golf and had a few beers, and it was a great time. But like that's the type of year though that it is for me, where it's like I have a couple good memories. I remember playing Mario Golf with you on a trip up to Cincinnati during college and stuff like that, having fun for an afternoon, moving on with their lives. But there just really isn't a lot here for me with 99. I do want to play more Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, though. That is the one that I will toss out as let's make that happen as soon as possible. All right, going into 2000, Connor. Last year I was not alive. What do you got for me?
We're going to go with Final Fantasy 9 for this one. My third favorite Final Fantasy game, which is really weird because it's just kind of gotten pushed down the list because of Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth semi-recently. So it was at 1 at one point. But yeah, I think this game is really special. It's really warm for me. Like, it has a different vibe to 7 and, as I understand it, 8, which are very like kind of oppressive, very kind of dark games pretty often, with some levity, of course. But 9 is very like comical at points, but still doesn't undermine some of the more serious moments with that comedy, which I really think is a very interesting balancing act for them to pull off. At the end of the day, this game is all about its characters, though. Steiner, Garnet / Dagger, Zidane, Freya. But for me, it really comes down to Vivi. I think that their story is really impactful, really resonated with me at a very important time in my life, and has really stuck with me. I think that there's a good reason that people point to Vivi as one of, if not the best Final Fantasy characters. I think the journey that they go on is central to the story, and I think that you could argue that they're the main character. Though I do still think that the overarching plot with Zidane and this crew is very good as well. But it really comes down to like very personal stories for each of them that kind of interweave everything together. Like, I think Freya's story is really, really good. I'm kind of bummed that we don't get more of it. It kind of just ends, unfortunately. I think the music in this game is excellent. The music specifically in Bermesia, I think is how you say that, with the piano and the rain and everything. Oh, it's so good. And the pre-rendered backgrounds, timeless, dude. I love me a good pre-rendered background. You know that from me talking about Parasite Eve, and I think Final Fantasy IX probably has the best pre-rendered backgrounds of any game ever. So yeah, I love Final Fantasy IX. What are you going with for 2000?
I'm going with Mario Party 2. If you can let me choose Mario Party 2, I'm going to choose Mario Party 2. I have FF9
Over
written
Final
down.
Fantasy 9?
Yeah. Mario Party 2 is a better video game than Final Fantasy 9.
This changes things because my runner-up kind of was a total crapshoot.
Yeah,
here it was,
but it's probably Mario Party 2.
Now it's Mario Party 2. I was gonna say Crash Bash,
Yeah.
but
but no, for me, Mario Party 2 is just a brilliant party game. It like. There's a reason that when All Stars or whatever the hell the remake one that came out on the Switch one had maps from Mario Party 2 and 3. It's like, that's what we want. We want these classic maps. We want these classic mini games. I like button mashing. I like jumping over a fire rope. I like just basic mechanics that I can go and somewhat prove that I'm better than the person sitting next to me, flip them the bird, laugh in their face, and then get screwed over with stars. This is mechanically, I think, one of the strongest Mario Party games to this day. Whenever we play Mario Party on this channel, we normally just shrug our shoulders and say, yeah, we're playing Mario Party 2. So Mario Party 2 is my answer.
And it never gets old.
It never gets old. It never gets old. Mario Party, from a concept, there's a reason they make so many of them. It is just so much fun. And when we talk about video games fun for a minute, Mario Party exemplifies that so well. The stakes are so low yet so high at the exact same time. Love Mario Party.
2001.
I'm in the game, baby. Let's go. But I can't choose anything that came out on January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Yeah. I started on January 4th. No, for 2001, my answer is Metal Gear Solid 2. Because Kojima is amazing, and this finale is still one of the greatest finales of all time. I'm going to get really boring and let you know, not the last Metal Gear I'm going to talk about on this podcast. And then after that is Halo Combat Evolved. That's my runner-up.
My 1 is Halo Combat Evolved.
And it's your 2, Metal Gear Solid 2?
My 2 is Final Fantasy X.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Once again, it's so funny how these years ebb and flow, where some years you get a 98 where it is Ocarina of Time and Metal Gear and Half-Life 1 and stuff like that, and then you get 99 like, ooh.
And then 2001 for me is just a lot of like really solid 8.5 type experiences.
I also was with 2001 MGS2. MGS2 was my winner, clearly. Not close. Freaking Smash Melee is a brilliant video game.
I had that up there as well.
It's a brilliant game.
I had that as my runner-up for a minute.
Yeah, I just couldn't pull the trigger on that one because I love Halo's mechanics so much, on just the floaty nature and the way that the Chief feels in that game, and playing that game multiplayer is still a blast, and just like
it
Halo
holds up
1
incredibly well.
is unfreaking believable. I really hope they do remake it and make it awesome and go from there, because I just want more. Any Halo to me is good Halo. Straight up. Any Halo that has the floaty ass mechanics and the way your shield regens and just like the sound design and the way that a needler hits and the shield charges back up, like it all works so well for me. So yeah, shout out to Halo, but yeah, MGS2.
So my 1 is Halo. My bit on this is I think that the ability for this game in 2001 to show so much scale is really impressive. You feel like you are in a massive environment, and some of the environments are pretty fucking big, but it just hides whatever loading screens or whatever rendering it's doing so well. And then also like the horizon, like the vistas will be like really just kind of show, like seeing the halo go up or whatever, and like having that tower over you, or like I'm on this massive fucking thing. Like you feel like you're a part of something huge, and I think that's really impressive and really cool. Then you go into like the more linear, more tight environments, and I know a lot of people don't like some of those, like the library, as we've kind of mentioned.
Yeah.
I'll argue that the library is totally fine.
I think the library is just 10 minutes too long.
I think that finally getting to fight something else after fighting the Covenant for X amount of hours,
6 hours-ish,
is kind of nice. It's a good change of pace. I think the Flood are fun enemies to fight. They kind of just explode or whatever, and the shotgun during that sequence is really fun to use.
and they just burst everywhere, especially the big ones that burst into a bunch of small ones, going lighting that one up with the shotgun. Gosh darn it. Amazing.
And then from a story perspective, it kind of just throws you right in and expects you to kind of just be along for the ride. And I think it does a good job of catching you up where it needs to, and just building on that base to make a really complex, really rich world that you want to know more of, but still like keeping it focused on Chief and his scenario and his story, and his involvement in all of this. Like, I think is really, really impressive. Like, I think from every standpoint of this game, if you want to do story, you want to do visuals, you want to do gameplay, like, I think it all works so well. And for a game from 2001, I think it holds up incredibly well. I didn't play all the way through Halo 1 until, I can't remember if I beat it when the Master Chief Collection first came out, when I was in high school, or if I beat it for the first time when I did the replay of the entire series in 2019. 2019, I rebought an Xbox One and got the Master Chief Collection and played every single Halo, which was up through 5 at that point. And I loved it when I played it then. The first time I ever picked up Halo, because I played it a decent amount at friends' houses, but I remember Arkansas, we had a friend who had an Xbox, and it was just weird to see an Xbox in general, because like everybody had a fucking PS2, and I wasn't allowed to play anything that was like bloody or like super violent, but we were shooting aliens, and they had like blue blood, and I was like, I think this is okay. Yeah. I think this gets a pass because it's not real.
It's how we got past for me playing Halo 3 was, it's aliens, and it's not people, and it's chill.
So, and I remember thinking that was just such a cool experience and wanting to play more of it. I had a friend later down the line who had an Xbox, and I remember seeing him play Halo Online. And I was like, what the fuck?
You're playing with other people. Are you
serious? You're playing with people across the country, across the world or whatever? I was like, that's insane. This is so cool. So yeah, if you want to talk about just like importance, which I usually don't factor in here, like Halo is such an important video game when it comes to first-person shooters on console and making that what it is today. Like, this is what really kicked that off. And then when it comes to that online multiplayer as well, like, it's just a very important video game. But even taking that out of it, I still think that it's the best game from this year.
All right. Dude, what was your runner-up?
Final Fantasy X, which I've talked about on the podcast before, semi-recently. That was within this year.
Yeah, it was. So you love it.
Great game.
Moving on to 2002. I think we agree on the top end. 3, 2, 1.
Kingdom Hearts.
For favorite, it's a game that defines the channel. It's one of those surefire bets that we will to the end of our days. I like unironically, I look at our year at the start of every year, especially around November and December, and I say, when are we going to play a Kingdom Hearts game this year, upcoming year? Like, that is something that will happen every year for sure, because it's just amazing and it's a terrific experience, and there's so much heart and charm, and it reminds me to some level why we all love video games, and a big part of that is sharing these moments together, and Kingdom Hearts does it in such a delightful way that just makes everyone smile, that we love steering in on things like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I have talked about this game ad nauseum at this point. It's my favorite game of all time. I will say, just kind of like solidifying my opinion on this and like where I really stand on it, like, I do not know what it would take for this game to be knocked off that first spot for me for my favorite game of all time.
I don't think it'll
ever happen.
I don't either. Thinking about where you go and reside when it comes to what you love about video games, things like The Last of Us, especially with the multiplayer, the amount of memories you have with the multiplayer, to have hundreds of hours in something like that alongside one of the best campaigns that you played, it's not close for you. I'm like, whoa, like, you just adore this game. And then Mass Effect 2, like, some of these games that are just like so you coded.
Mass Effect 2 is my number 2, and I don't even think it's
close.
There's a clear break there for me where I'm like, this game, could you factor nostalgia into that and just say that it's special to me because it was the first game I played? Sure, I do think that factors in somewhat, but I played this game at every single stage of my life. And I'm a completely different person than I was in high school when I was playing it, in college when I was playing it, and now as an adult playing it. It's just like, you would think that my opinion would change somewhat during that time, and it really hasn't. Like, I've just fallen more and more in love with this game. It has its flaws that I can point to. I don't think this is like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece by any means, but I love it to death. So
right, I want to toss out for some of these. I originally is like,
did you do a runner-up?
Yeah, this is for runner-up. This is a fun one. All these games I played in a remastered version that I want to toss out there.
Yeah, that's tough.
So Ratchet 1 remastered. I played that in 2017-ish. Metroid Prime remastered, and then even Wind Waker remastered version. So if I had to choose one of those, the one that I want to toss out there is Metroid Prime. I have sort of come around a little bit on my opinion on where I stand when it comes to loving Metroid Prime, like it being closer to one of my favorite games compared to a game that I just heavily respect. Because every time I talk about it, I get fired up. Yeah. I love talking about Metroid Prime. And I don't know if the audience knows this as well. I just like to talk about games a whole bunch. Like, that's why this channel exists, is talking about this medium and hop on a microphone. And every single time we bring up Metroid Prime, I go, holy smokes, this game's just unbelievable. And I really like the fact that thinking about the way games are made and designed and how you have to just strip down, get a whiteboard together, storyboard how you're going to do some of these moments, for them to go and accomplish this is like, it's an accomplishment in the arts. That's what I think about Metroid Prime, and that fires me up, and I will always want to shout it out, and for that, tote it as one of my more favorite types of games.
My runner-up was Resident Evil Remake. We kind of touched on it earlier when talking about 96, but I think this is the second best Resident Evil game. Having just played this, I think that when it comes to the design of the environments and how everything weaves together, it's really impressive. I think the Spencer Mansion is one of, if not the best video game location of all time. I think from a story perspective, it's a little bit weak, but I just like being in this environment, kind of learning the ins and outs and really feeling like my knowledge is growing as I explore this environment. Like, I feel like I was so lost at first, and then as you just kind of unlock the different rooms and know, okay, this is over here, that's over there, I'm getting this item here, I'll come back for this item eventually. Like, I feel like I was mastering this area, and what is really like hard in the beginning of like getting around the basic zombies or whatever develops as you're getting further into the game and you're fighting more and more vicious foes, but you feel like you're getting stronger as that goes. So you're really scared and struggling in the beginning, and then you feel more and more powerful. And I think that's a very key aspect of Resident Evil, and a really key aspect of video games in general, especially horror, where it's like you want to feel really vulnerable at the start. And I think Resident Evil does a really good job of doing that. And even as the game progresses and gives you more difficult enemies to go against, you are appropriately getting more powerful to take them on, and your ability to kind of just sink into this world and be comfortable in this world is also growing as well. So like, you not only feel more powerful in the game, but you feel more powerful in how you are going to receive these scares as well, which I think is really cool.
Before we move on to 2003, shout out Mario Sunshine, one of the best games from 2002. All right, 2003, Connor, what you got for me?
Weird year.
Oh, yeah, this is the last year that sucks. Yeah. Straight up, like everything.
And it's really worth noting that, like, so born in 96, like, I didn't have money to go buy video games. So, like, I wasn't playing a bunch of shit. Like, I was renting stuff from Blockbuster. I was getting the occasional game for Christmas and birthdays and stuff. Maybe, like, I remember going to a Hollywood Video in, like, 2006 and, like, begging my mom for Kingdom Hearts 3 Chain of Memories, and it was $20. And, like, I feel like that's the only memory I have of my parents buying me a video game on a whim like that. So, like, we didn't play a ton of this shit. Like, as I've gone through this, I've been talking about a lot of games that I played as an adult and have gone back to because I have the money and means to go do that.
But there's not a lot you want to go back to and play when it comes to 2003, because like there is KOTOR in here. Yeah. Like that's the one
people are going to be like, how have you not played KOTOR? Exactly. And it's like, which is fair.
There's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time in there. Once again, another one that we haven't gone around to yet. And then there's things like Call of Duty 1 that no one really played. I'm going to hop in then and just say that my answer is Tony Hawk Underground.
Okay.
Like, that game was a blast. I loved the Underground series. I like Underground too. Like, that's a fun time. And then my runner-up is NBA Street Volume 2. solely due to getting to stream now with you, Brady, and Sam, and having Sam on the stream and having a blast there.
My game is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I thought about it, dude. What a game.
Yeah, we rented this maybe 12 times from Blockbuster. I don't know if we ever owned it.
I don't think we did.
On the PS2.
Yeah.
But we played the hell out of this game, collecting those golden spatulas.
Yep.
This is a pure nostalgia pick for sure. I booted this game up in the rehydrated version on PS5 in the last few years. It was 2 a.m. and I was drunk. And I was like, this is pretty great. I'm gonna play 20 minutes of this and you get that nostalgia hit and put it down, and I never came back to it. But I would like to kind of re-experience that game and see if it holds up decently well. But from my memory, I remember really loving this, and just seeing this world brought to life in a video game and seeing how they play with the different environments, I thought was really impressive and really cool. Is it a great video game? I fucking don't know, but I loved it. My runner-up is Mario Kart Double Dash.
Great call.
Rock solid racer. I think that it's is it better than Mario Kart Wii? Maybe it's up there.
Maybe.
Yeah, like it is. It's not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not even close to that.
No.
Like, not even close.
There is such a tier break, in my opinion, between the different Mario Karts, where I think the only thing that's an S tier Mario Kart is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I don't know if there's an A tier.
Yeah.
Like, because if we're, I'm not a believer of like triple S tier or whatever.
Everything else is just rock solid.
It's
kart racer.
You really could choose your favorite after that, and I respect that immensely between Double Dash, 7, DS. Like, there's a lot to go and discuss there, but yeah, I'm going to go and toss out that like Double Dash is probably my number 3 behind World and 8 Deluxe.
I think that's a fair ranking. I'm somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah. The main thing that I love about Mario Kart Double Dash is like the 2 characters and the unique item you get based off of the character you choose. I think that's a cool twist on the formula.
All right,
real quick, my runner-up to my runner-up that I just want to give a shout out to is Beautiful Joe. That game is hard as fuck, though. I cannot beat it, but I really did enjoy my time playing it.
Connor, this podcast is going to go for 49 hours.
Yeah.
All right, moving along to 2004. This is what many consider the greatest year in gaming history. My number 1 is Snake Eater. Obviously, top 10 favorite game for me. Think it's brilliant. We're going to do the repeat, too, of the 2001 and 2004. I'm choosing Metal Gear as my winner, and I'm choosing Halo 2 as my runner-up. Yeah, it's an unbelievable year of gaming. There's so much goodness to discuss and talk about here.
Really?
Yeah. Half-Life 2, Halo 2, GTA San Andreas, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Doom 3, KOTOR 2, Metroid Prime 2, Fable, Ratchet and Clank, up your freaking arsenal.
Sly 2,
Pikmin 2. Yeah.
I think these are a lot of games that I either haven't played, didn't like as much as everybody else, and then after that, it's a lot of solid stuff for me that I like quite a bit.
What's your...
my game of the year would be Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Okay.
This was, I think, my first T-rated game that I owned, so that's an important milestone for me. I think that just the way this game controls is really fun. I like the different wacky weapons. I think that the dynamic between Ratchet and Clank is very solid. Like their comedy is really interesting. I think that the different planets and like the different environments that those lead to are really very diverse. It's been a very long time since I played this, so I'm going completely off of memory here. But I can like envision a few of the planets in my head still, and I haven't played it since. I imagine I played this in like 2006 or something. Yeah, I love Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. My runner-up would be Halo 2.
Yep.
I think that this is just a little bit less memorable than Halo 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Halo 2, just the Arbiter and that story is a little bit more interesting to me.
I can like go beat for beat through Halo 1.
Yeah.
For like
I can't.
Almost the entire thing. I know like the broad points of the story and everything for Halo 2, but I'm trying to like remember like specific environments. Like I remember like the first section, you're in like are you in the tank or like you're going into the city? I believe.
Well, that's the other part with
Halo. It's been a long time.
Halo story for me, I'm gonna be honest, is like I could go big topic.
Yeah.
Like big swing, but like I am not dialed in. I messaged my buddy Andrew, who's a huge Halo fan, before we played 3 yesterday, letting him know that we were doing that, and he just like text me if you got any more questions. I'm like, I think I'm gonna be all right, buddy, but like it's just not my bag.
And then I don't have the experience with the multiplayer. So I know a lot of people hold Halo 2 in very, very high regard. It's my runner-up. I still love this game. I think that is it the weakest of the original trilogy? Maybe, I don't know.
This is a pick your favorite situation.
3 is my favorite. How do you feel? What would you have rated 3 after your playthrough yesterday?
Still 9 out of 10.
It's so good. Dude.
It's so good. The amount of FYAs that Brady was dropping at the end of that game too,
much, dude.
like it's awesome, man.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh my god, it's so good.
When you and the Arbiter are getting the hell out of Dodge, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, like what are we doing? I love Halo 3 so much. The soundtrack's unbelievable. All right, we got to keep rolling though. 2005. I'm so curious where you go here. My answer is Guitar Hero, a game I don't talk enough about. Yeah. What are you looking at?
Resident Evil 4?
I remake. That's a 2023 game for me. I have not played RE4 yet. If we want to include it, it would be my answer. But I'm gonna give it the respect it deserves. So when inevitably I do play RE4, I can have that conversation.
Here's what I'll say. Also, I put Shadow of the Colossus as my runner-up here, but I would say that Shadow of the Colossus remake is basically a 1-for-1 remake. Some control changes, and it just looks visually way better.
Yeah,
but
gameplay changes.
I played Shadow of the Colossus, the original, on PS3, the HD version.
Yeah.
So like trying to compare those in my mind, I'm like, I don't feel like they're that different. It just finally got me to play it because the remake was out and it was easily accessible. But yeah, Resident Evil 4.
Oh wait, Kingdom Hearts 2 is 05?
Yep.
Oh shit, that probably is. I like Kingdom Hearts 2 more than Guitar Hero, so that's going to change my answer. Where is Kingdom Hearts 2?
This is an insane year for me now.
Yeah.
In the top 50, I had Kingdom Hearts 2 below Shadow of the Colossus and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
But they're all top 10.
God of War's in there too. Sly 3's in there.
That's why when you said 2004, I'm like, oh, okay, sure, like I guess, but like 2005 for me is like fucking nuts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and my answer is Kingdom Hearts 2. I adore Kingdom Hearts 2. The finale of that game, talking about it chokes me up every time. So I'm not gonna talk about it. But Guitar Hero, a game that I don't respect enough. Like I don't respect it enough because I'm a Rock Band fan, because drums, mic, bringing the whole family together, getting after it. Too much fun. But Guitar Hero 1, having that original set list of a lot of beloved 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s rock and roll is just so freaking good. And learning how to play on easy and then go to medium and then go, like, that sort of progression that everyone had at that time was really special and really cool. So yeah, Guitar Hero is going to be my runner-up. But Kingdom Hearts 2, obviously we talk a lot about it on this channel. So
Resident Evil 4 we've talked about quite a bit. I'm just going to say that this is the best item management sim that I've ever played in my entire life. I love messing around in the item box and fitting all my items together.
How do you not like crafting games? I don't get it. You love Resident Evil so
and
much,
organizing,
but you don't like crafting.
it's so fun. But yeah, and then also just like the combat, I think is a blast. I love the whole planting your feet, lining up the shot type gameplay. That's why I prefer this to the remake, even though the remake is also excellent. I think that the over-the-top nature of Leon, but like melds really well with his like self-seriousness and is really funny at the end of the day. Like,
so funny.
He delivers lines like "Where's everybody going? Bingo!" with such sincerity that it's just so next level. I fucking love it. And I think the overarching story is good. It's good to get you from point A to point B, but like I wouldn't say that like it's telling a Last of Us level story, but I just love the melding of that seriousness with just the goofiness.
Yeah.
It's so unique, it's so special. I love it. And then Shadow of the Colossus, what I've said for this game is what I'll say for it forever. There's nothing like it. There will never be anything like it. It is extremely special. So yeah,
the original runner-ups I had two for behind Guitar Hero was Mario Kart DS, game ripped on the back of the bus, and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Dude, we have to stream later. We're not gonna fucking make it. This is gonna go forever. This is awesome. I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
2006. I put Wii Sports.
I also put Wii Sports.
Maybe the most fun you can have with the least amount of content. Does that make sense? Where it's like, these games are not robust, super fleshed out by any means, but I might have put 3,000 hours into Wii Sports at this point. Like, I fucking love this game. Playing it still today. We played it on last Cup 64 day. We did bowling?
Yeah. No, we did Resort for the bowling.
Fuck. Okay.
Because we did 3 different. When people sleep, that we also did like sword fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In Wii Sports Resorts to figure out who's the best. Anyways.
But yeah, so fun. And I don't care who you are, you're probably going to enjoy your time playing some Wii Sports if you had the opportunity to pick it up, which most people did.
What's your runner-up?
My runner-up, where are we, is, this is really funny. I think this is a weak year as well.
I agree.
Because you're launching the PS3, which was fucking terrible during this
Terrible
year.
launch.
And then 360 was still getting the ball rolling from 2005. The DS was rocking and rolling. I did New Super Mario Bros.
This is the 1 year we lined up on.
Yeah,
I
that's
assume.
really funny.
That's funny. Yeah,
this was like my 2D Mario game that I got like really obsessed with. I was at the right age at the right time, you know, like I wasn't going back and playing the NES at this point and enjoying Super Mario Bros. 3, or I definitely played Super Mario World on Game Boy Advanced, which isn't called Super Mario World on Game Boy Advance, I don't think. I think it has like some number after it as well. But I didn't fall in love with that as a kid, but this like just was the perfect level of difficulty and visuals that like I was able to really get into it. And I remember like going to our grandma has a beach house and we all get together on like 4th of July, and she has like a swing on the back of her deck, and everybody's like down on the beach hanging out and like, you know, enjoying the sun, doing what you're supposed to do, like go to the beach when you're at the beach. I'm upstairs with my DS original, the fat DS, and I'm sitting on that back deck just grinding away in the ice levels or whatever, the ice world, just having the time of my life. I loved it so much. I definitely beat this game, I think, but like it's been a long time.
Definitely did not beat this game.
I played it recently.
I love this game.
When I got my 2DS XL. No, I played it on my 3DS at the beginning of this year and played the first couple worlds and really still enjoyed it. I know that people like really have strong feelings about the new Super Mario Bros. Series and like the art design and everything, and I totally get that. I don't think it's like better than I don't think it's better looking than Super Mario Bros. 3 or even now Wonder, obviously, but I still like this game quite a bit.
I ditto basically everything you just said. A lot of great memories with that one. All right, moving on to 07, one of the greatest years in gaming history.
This is in fact one of the greatest years in gaming history.
I'm so curious to see where you landed with this. Where you at? What's your winner?
BioShock.
Not even in my top 2.
Wow.
Yeah. My winner is Rock Band, because obviously
you just did Rock Band.
No, Guitar Hero was 05.
Guitar Hero is what it was. My bad.
Rock Band is 2007.
Really? You have that strong of a feeling about Guitar Hero?
For 05? It's 05. Like, it ended up being Kingdom Hearts 2 as my number 1, but like Mario Kart DS and like,
don't say it's 05. We have Resident Evil 4 and Shadow of the Colossus. I understand that you didn't play that, but like still,
05 versions of those
you
games.
say 05 like it's a bad year. It's not a bad year.
Yeah, it's a great year. But the funny part is I've played both Shadow of the Colossus and Resident Evil 4. It's not the 2005 versions. Rock Band for 07. I love Rock Band. I have come to grips more and more with the fact that like without Rock Band I would not love music, and I would not be like I've been writing music, and I've been like just
you wouldn't play the drums.
I won't play the drums. I wouldn't have played drums with the Killers, which I like. It's something. It's a fun story and all that stuff.
Little
but, like,
Domino, Big Domino.
Yeah,
Nick
like,
plays Rock Band. And Nick plays drums with the Killers.
Like it's stupid, but it's true. You know, like. Yeah. And it's one of those memories that awesome. Like it exists in our family now and will come up all the time. And Like we were just on a vacation with our extended family, and like one of my uncles brought it up, being like, "Hey, like that was awesome." And I'm like, "It's what 8 years ago?" But it's one of those things that we can all have a touch point to be like, "That was a really cool thing." Because it came from hard work and a lot of planning, but
and
really
Rock Band.
it came from Rock Band. And so Rock Band is amazing. It's endless memories for me playing Rock Band. But Bioshock.
I mean, like, I feel like there's nothing new to say about Bioshock.
We've done so many podcasts. It is the game that we probably guessed the most outside of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
On lists too. Like we talk about Bioshock all the time, and
it's timeless too. Like I think that having replayed it in 2023, 22 maybe, I love this game more than I ever have. I think I might like it even more than when I first played it.
I beat that this year again. Like I was like, yeah,
just Rapture is such a iconic location. I just love being in that world, and just peeling through all the audio diaries and reading the writing on the walls and trying to piece together little stories of like what the fuck happened here, what is going on in this environment, and like the difference between that environment and the next environment is going to be really drastic, but it all feels very cohesive because it's in this one world. And then the story as well, Andrew Ryan, like come on, Atlas.
Something that what I don't talk about enough when it comes to Bioshock, it always is story and Rapture. But the way that the color palette is designed to be so dark, but then have these highlights of those like bright greens or bright reds in certain
like
vials.
Neon
yeah,
too.
like and like there's neons, but it's gonna be like a neon tubed sign with a bunch of like rust around the sign. I'm like, there's so much detail to even that, where this world feels so lived in because of that detail. Right. It's really, really well done.
My runner-up is Portal.
Same.
There you go.
No Halo 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halo 3 and Bioshock both getting, and Super Mario Galaxy.
I was going to mention Halo 3 times. You know,
Connor, I mentioned 3 Metal Gears, and we're not done yet, baby. Like, it's so good. So,
I love Halo 3.
Yeah, I love Halo 3.
It's the best first-person shooter ever, in my opinion. Maybe.
I think it's probably mine.
Which I have Bioshock in here, but it's different. Bioshock is like. We mentioned a lot of points about Bioshock. True. We didn't say anything about the gameplay. Exactly. I think the gameplay's fine in that game.
And then also MW4. Oh, sorry, not MW4. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is also on this list, and that game just rips. But another example of the remake is the one that I am familiar with, and that's that experience. But I think that Call of Duty 4 still rips, amazing multiplayer maps. But Portal, it's Portal I don't talk enough about. Because Portal 2 I talk about all the time. It is a top 5, top 10 sort of game for me. Portal 2 is arguably perfect. Like, sit down for 2 hours, play it, think it's brilliant.
I think Portal 1's more perfect, maybe. Just because it's another... Exactly. It's just a perfect, tight experience. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It makes me feel like a genius without making me want to bash my head against the wall because I don't know what to fucking do, which I do feel that way in some moments in Portal 2. I think from like a aesthetic perspective, like how like the puzzle rooms look is so distinct at this point. Like I can look at a screenshot of one of these rooms without like any of the iconography in it and be like, that's Portal. And where the story goes and how everything kind of just breaks down, I think is really interesting and really cool.
All right. 08?
08, I'm going to go with Dead Space. What do you got?
What do you think I got?
I don't know. Okay. I have Little Big Planet written down as my runner-up, but I don't have all the games listed in front of me.
That makes sense. My winner for 2008 is Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriot. Yeah. I talked about this a year ago after I beat it, and... loved it. Apparently people don't like adore this game. The fact that this game wraps up the story of Metal Gear so well, it's insane. It has to shoulder the weight of wrapping up 3 different stories. Like, and it does it in an awesome way. Are there things about this game I don't like? Absolutely. But it is still just so freaking good.
Oh my God.
What?
It's Kingdom Hearts 3. I've always compared Metal Gear Solid to Kingdom Hearts with like how over the top and like intricate and complex the story is. This is literally just the same narrative for Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
3, where it's like, is it incredibly flawed? Yes, but does it have the task of wrapping up a fucking million things? Also, yes. So you gotta kind of appreciate
I
it.
don't think it's incredibly flawed. The biggest issue with it is it doesn't do anything as well as any of the other Metal Gears. 2's ending, 1's bosses and character design, 3's overarching narrative depth and how straightforward it is, and literally being Mission Impossible, the best version of Mission Impossible, the video game. Like, I adore Guns of the Patriot, and my number 2, my runner-up is Smash Brawl. Fucking love Brawl. A game that we don't talk about enough because Melee and Ultimate get the shine, but Brawl's a blast. And I didn't know it, but I used to main Snake, who is now one of my favorite gaming characters of all time. So shout out to Brawl.
My runner-up is Little Big Planet.
I have that in parentheses too. Yeah, Little Big Planet's just so freaking good. That's a platform where we said Little Big Planet we've planned on streaming for 2 years at this point. We've talked about it so many times. We will do it eventually.
Yeah. I've been thinking about playing it on Vita lately.
09, Connor. This is where we might line back up one last time. Actually, no, there's not a chance.
You're fucked on that because of one game, Final Fantasy 13.
Okay,
what
is
a
that your winner?
special game to me, yeah.
Break it down.
Once again, when it comes to a Final Fantasy game, we're going to talk about the characters. I think this cast is incredibly strong, and I know that that's kind of a hot take. A lot of people don't like Vanille or Hope, but I think that they're solid members of the crew alongside Lightning, Saz, Snow, Fang. I think these are all really well realized characters. And the dynamic between each other, I think, is really interesting because like each of them have like some sort of back and forth that makes them like relate, but they also all have this overarching thing that keeps them all moving towards the same final goal, which I love. I think that these environments look incredible. I know that people are frustrated about the linearity of this game. I think it's one of the strengths of the game. It keeps the game really focused on moving to the next story beat and giving you some of the best gameplay in all of Final Fantasy history. I think the paradigm system is excellent and it is super fun. The music in this game, fantastic. I think that the intricacy of the lore of this world is very complex, and it's an issue a lot of people have with it where you're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I kind of appreciate the fact that it just drops you in and it says, figure it out, you'll get it, and you will. I think that if you play through this game, you start to pick up all the ins and outs, and it respects the audience's intelligence and says that you will kind of eventually be able to grasp this, but I personally don't need to understand every single thing about the lore to enjoy a video game. Like, I can relate to the characters and understand their struggle, but I don't need to know like all the terminology and the ins and outs of all of that to appreciate a video game story. So I love this game. This is my second favorite Final Fantasy. I think it is wildly underrated, and I think that a lot of the design philosophies that this game has that were panned when it came out need to be reevaluated because of the general fatigue around a lot of modern game design when it comes to stuff like open world design and people's frustrations with everything just being a checkboxy open world side quest, do everything type of padded out experience. I think it's refreshing to play something like Final Fantasy 13 that is all killer, no filler, just keeping you on that main path, going to the next thing, while also still feeling that like this really grand, epic journey because of the different environments and where you're going and where the story is taking you. Like, I love this fucking game, and I wish more people would appreciate it. I understand it. Where's the fucking port to modern consoles? What are we doing? I can only play this on PS3 right now? What?
Because the Patriots too, man.
That's wild.
It sucks.
What are we doing? So what is your game of the year for 2009? Uncharted 2?
Uncharted 2.
Yeah, that's my runner-up.
Uncharted 2 is brilliant. Train sequence is so good that they copied it, and Mission Impossible 15 years later. We say that all the time. Shout out Chloe for introducing a side character that is dynamic enough and interesting enough to really fill out this cast in a awesome way after you have the initial relationships with Elena and Sully. Just fun cover shooting, globetrotting adventure. This is a flawed game to some level, where you do have a slow point around like chapter 16. But other than that, I think that it's pretty masterful for what it does with its action gameplay.
The most important game to us in our development of falling in love with video games and staying in love with video games. I don't think this channel exists without Uncharted 2.
When I was thinking about like the Metal Gear Solid conversation of when we said, if we had to like induct something into like the Legends Hall or whatever, shout out to Easy Allies, obviously, where Hall of Greats was their whole thing back in the day, and that series was brilliant. But like number 2 would be Uncharted 2 behind Metal Gear, for sure. My runner up though is Wii Sports Resort. Best party game on the Wii, baby. I just ended Speak Lane where I defended that take, and I feel like I'm gonna get roasted in the comments on it. But it is 12 mini games that are all so much fun that when Connor says it's the game that I've had the most fun that does the least when it comes to Wii Sports, Resort just goes and amplifies that to have a little bit more variety to where I want to play Resorts more and more, even though I have great nostalgia for Wii Sports just in general. Resorts is like I think the archery minigame in that game is like the 8th best game, and it's a freaking blast. Like I think that it's awesome.
I was kicking the Wii to the curb because I just got a PS3 at this point, so I did not get that time on Wii Sports Resort other than like playing it I think a couple times at friends' houses, but like that was it.
Yeah, we played Wii Sports Resort, and then in 2010, there's another game that is my runner-up that like was the sleepover games for me and Sam and that whole group and growing up.
4 more years that we're gonna go in depth on, and then we're gonna race through 2014.
So we got another 45 minutes of the podcast. No, it's good. We're I don't know where we're gonna wrap up, but you boys do have to stream today.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to 2010. What you got for me, Connor?
We're gonna go with Mass Effect 2.
That's my take too.
Boom.
Yeah. It's for me a weird one because I came to this one so late, and I fucking hated Mass Effect 1. I hated Mass Effect 1 so much that I did not think I was going to stream Mass Effect 2 at a certain point. Like, I think Mass Effect 1 is like a 5 out of 10 game, a 6 out of 10 game. Like, I don't think that it's bad, but it does a lot that frustrates me very, very much. So much so that I was like, there's no way you can like get me back in on this franchise. And the way that people talk about Garrus as like that's their guy, Thane's my guy. Like, I love that character so much.
It's so interesting.
It's so funny because you look back to 2024 and a metaphor, and one of those characters being a dad, and that whole relationship hits so hard and so well for me. Same deal here when it comes to Thane and what they are seeking for. I'm trying to keep it very vague when it comes to story beats and everything, but like I just love that character and what the journey that they go on. And then like there's so many awesome characters. The romances are super interesting between like the different options that you have through whatever side you play too. Like there's just so much love for these side characters. If somebody said that this is the best cast in video games, I wouldn't hate it, even with things like Final Fantasy VII that exist and God of War Ragnarok that exist. I don't hate that take. So yeah, Mass Effect 2 is immensely special. My runner-up is Halo Reach. I love Halo Reach. I went back and forth on which one is which, 1A, 1B for this type of year. I've played hundreds of hours of Halo Reach, especially just like 4-player, split-screen co-op. Story, I think, is good. Multiplayer and custom games, I think, is excellent. So Mass Effect 2 for you. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there. Where are you at with Mass Effect 2?
For me, Mass Effect 2 shines with the flow of the game, where it's go out, recruit the party member, which I love a good getting the band together type scenario. So you recruit the member, then you take them back to the ship and you start building that relationship. Then you get the loyalty mission to start firming that up and get more backstory on these characters. And that's where you really can fall in love with these characters, as you're getting that secondary mission with them. You're getting the story on the ship. You're having these conversations. You're building this relationship. You're bringing them along with you on other people's missions, and they're getting that dialogue as certain things are happening, and you get unique dialogue based off of who you bring, which I think is really cool. And then you go into the final mission, where it's like the culmination of all of that hard work that you've built up throughout all of this, and you've fallen in love with all of these characters. And the fact that anyone can live and anyone can die makes it so stressful. And that buildup is so well done, in my opinion, that even in Mass Effect 3, which has kind of similar mission structures in a way. Like you're not getting the band together, but like you do like your side missions and your crew members ask you to go do something with them and you go and do that or whatever. Like but it does not even come close to how structured Mass Effect 2 is. And I think that's kind of a product of like the story that Mass Effect 3 is trying to tell. So I don't really hold it against that. It's trying to do something a little bit different, but Mass Effect 2, I think, got it right.
Yeah.
So I love Mass Effect 2. It's my second favorite game of all time. I think that even with all that in mind, just talking about the story and the characters, we didn't even talk about the gameplay. I think the gameplay is super fun in this game.
The gameplay elevation from Mass Effect 1 to 2 is light years above. And when it comes to, it's really funny, I'm playing latest, not Dragon Age, is it Dragon Age from last year?
Yeah.
Where it is the like you slow down time, weapon wheel, go and choose a character to use a special ability. For some reason, it feels better in Mass Effect 2 than a game that just came out last year. Like, it just works so well. BioWare topped their game with Mass Effect 2.
Like hotkeying your different abilities, using a biotic to like send somebody into the sky or whatever, and then using your concussive shot to fucking annihilate them.
Dude.
Like, it's so
awesome.
satisfying. It never gets old.
What's your runner-up?
My runner-up is Call of Duty Black Ops. Another very important game when it comes to just being involved in like online spaces and multiplayer. Like I wasn't allowed to play Emerald Games. I kind of snuck this one in there, and a friend sold it to me actually. We like traded games or something. So I finally got to play Call of Duty after the craze that was Modern Warfare 2, and I sunk so many hours in the multiplayer. More specifically, I sunk so many hours into the zombies, Call of the Dead, Ascension, Keanu der Toten. So fucking good, dude. I love the zombies maps in Black Ops 1. I put more hours into Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 1 is like where I really fell in love with Call of Duty, and we're never going to reach the same kind of apex that these games hit for me. But yeah.
When you talk about Call of Duty, you bring up zombies, which is our thing. You know, like we are zombies players when it comes to COD, maybe more above anything else because we both aren't the best multiplayer guys. But like Jungle, Nuketown, Firing Range, like some of these multiplayer maps are awesome. Rocking the Commando on Summit, like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's awesome.
I was so bad at the multiplayer for Call of Duty, and like I only played it because my friends were playing it, and but I loved it anyways, just because of that. Like it gave me so many great moments with friends. I wouldn't be friends with Brady without Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. That's how we became friends. We met at a party, and then we all realized we had PS3s, and we're like, we should go home and play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 together, and we all did that, and then the rest is history. Here we are.
2011. This is a pretty... It's funny. I think that the top end of this year is like extremely strong for a lot of people, and then
what do we got for the top end? That
what my number one is, or the other ones that are...
Yeah.
The other ones are Skyrim and Arkham City and Battlefield 3 and Gears 3, like
right.
Skyward Sword you want to toss in there, but none of those Modern Warfare 3, but none of those games are my game. My game is Portal 2. Portal 2 is one of the greatest games of all time. I think that this is one that like
2011.
Yeah, 2011.
Really?
Well, I think so. April 19th, 2011 is what I got.
I thought it was 2012.
Yeah, no, I think that's 2011. I'm pretty darn sure about that one. But yeah, Portal 2, one of my favorite games of all time. I think that it is just brilliant. I think that let's start with the co-op. Co-op is one of the best couch co-op experiences that you can have. The fact that it's in that game is unbelievable. But the fact that it's so unnecessary to me, I think that Portal 2 is simply just fan-freaking-tastic when it comes to a narrative and going through this experience one more time and having it be so well developed and so interesting. I could play endless Portal and always be a happy lad, but to have another like compact story, Portal 1 doesn't overstay its welcome because it's 2 hours. Portal 2 doesn't overstay its welcome because it's like 4 hours. Like, you can still beat that game in one sitting if you really want to. Is it 4 or 5 hours?
4 hours?
I feel
for
like
the campaign of Portal 2?
Portal 2 campaign. Really? Time to beat. Portal 2 is 8 hours. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I for some reason I feel like I beat that in one sitting. I beat it in 2. I'm remembering the last time I played it was during the pandemic. Anyways, it's still just a brilliant video game, and going through that journey, I can go through that I'm gonna probably play later this year. Like I talked to Connor about like what games I want to replay this year and how I'm gonna try to find time to fit certain things in. Where like I will really want to play BioShock again, and I did. Portal 2 is another one that I really want to go through and make happen. Portal 2 is brilliant.
So I moved Portal 2 into my game of the year for 2011. I originally had Little Big Planet 2 as my number one. That has been moved into the runner-up. And I had Dead Space 2 as my runner-up, and now that has been knocked off. Everything you said about Portal 2 is true. I agree with all of it. It's just a really great building on the base that the original laid, and I think that it's a very natural progression. And they do just enough without like going completely overboard to like keep it accessible, but still that same feeling of I'm really smart, I can do this, but I am not beating my head against the wall to figure out these solutions. So yeah,
my runner-up is Uncharted 3. And this game is really funny to think about because I love Uncharted 3. I think that it's a terrific action-adventure game. It defines my gameplay and what I do in video games so well. This is where I fell in love with punching opponents. I like to some level. I think I like fighting games because of the direction that Uncharted 3 had with that initial bar fighting scene being all about the new mechanics of punching and trying to go and have it be a little bit more of a dance compared to just like button mashing or mainly shooting in Uncharted 2. So yeah, I love running and gunning. I love beating the crap out of people in these games. And Drake's Deception, I believe it is 3 off the top of my head. Drake's, yep, I'm right, is a big reason for that. So that is my runner-up. And then yours is Little Big Planet 2.
Just so many hours in this game, playing the online levels that people uploaded. The creativity in this game is insane. I had a friend, our next door neighbor, who was really into building levels, and watching him go through, and he was way smarter than I was, and figure out how to like make certain things work and put these levels together. I think is really impressive to see that like people can do that with the tools that were provided in this game. But even taking out the online levels, I think that the single player campaign is super fun.
It's so good.
Has a lot of heart. It's really fun to play co-op with friends. I just played this game online, like with my next door neighbor, like a ton. So like just a lot of hours in this game. Holds a very special place in my heart because of that. So yeah.
All right, moving on to 2012. Do we have the same number one? No, we won't. I looked up 2012 games and I saw one that it's definitely your number one. Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Hotline Miami?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Why Hotline Miami, Connor?
It's a near perfect video game. That's why. I think from like an aesthetic standpoint, this game looks super unique still, and I love how colorful it is. I love the music in this game, and the music is essential because you're going to be in some of these areas forever. Because the whole point of the game is go in, die, learn from your mistakes again, and you will just be doing that for the runtime of this game. But coming out on top and finally figuring out these puzzles, which is really what they are, on how you can like manipulate the battlefield to kill all your enemies that are in front of you to then get to the next layer, is super rewarding and super fun. This is such an easy recommend for me. I think that if you're like really adverse to challenging games, it might not be for you, but I think that knowing that it's very doable, you just need to find that solution, can kind of, I think, hopefully convince people that even if you're not great at games, you can outsmart your way into winning in a lot of these areas. So yeah, I love Hotline Miami.
And it's only 5 hours, so just go hop in. And
that sounds long.
Really? Oh dang. Yeah. One sitting apparently. My winner here is Black Ops 2.
That was gonna be my.
I thought for a moment, and then I saw Hotline Miami, and I was like, "That's going to be Hotline Miami over it." And then there's another game that it's definitely in there, and I did just catch a glance. So it is both of our runner ups. But I really love Black Ops 2. This is the game that I probably was the most obsessed with as a kid. I loved Uncharted 2. I played through that campaign of few times. I love Rock Band. I love Smash Brawl, Wii Sports Resorts. Like a lot of these games are so essential to my childhood of gaming. But when it came to Black Ops 2, I'm playing Black Ops 2 because I want to learn everything about this game. I'm playing Buried hundreds of times. I am playing Origins hundreds of times. I'm playing Transit hundreds of times. Like, I love Black Ops 2 with my entire heart. Even though I don't think that it's the best Call of Duty game. I think that there's others that rival it. I think that Black Ops 3 arguably the best movement shooter of all time. And then Black Ops 1 is still a terrific overarching package. But I love Black Ops 2 for the multiplayer memories I have and hopping into some of these multiplayer maps. Raid, Newtown 2025, and Hijacked are all stars when it comes to the lineup of multiplayer maps. And then my runner-up is Journey. Is it also your runner-up?
Yes.
Yeah. What a brilliant game, quiet game. But here's the thing. I'll let you talk about Journey. I'm bringing up another runner-up. And I want to shout this out for 2011 and 2012. 2K 2012 and 2K 2013, baby. NBA 2K13 for me, which came out in 2012. It's always the year ahead sort of deal for those sports titles. Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, D Rose on the cover. Hundreds of hours. I love these games, and this is one of those moments that I know that the people that listen to this podcast are not our overarching TikTok audience and everyone that sees all of our videos. So I know that this isn't necessarily for those people, but I kind of wish that I could break this out to the TikTok audience and be like, I fucking love these games. I love the shooting mechanics and hitting threes with certain people. I love when you get a perfect green bar and you're like, I freaking did it. I think that sports games get dunked on all the time for being whatever, but I just love these games. It's someone's like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. You're not evolving some of these franchises. Oh, sure, you have a new story mode or a franchise mode or something that gets added throughout time or whatever, but not anything that's too monumental. But does that mean that it's not just really fun to go and select the Celtics and play 2K? At the time, was it not really fun to select the Thunder with KD and have a good time? Blake Griffin getting that ball to him down the paint and freaking dunking on people. I love these games so much. But it's funny. I'm like, yeah, it's going up against Uncharted 3 and Journey and Portal 2 and Black Ops 2, some of my favorite titles ever. But those 2 years especially, where the end of my time and end of my childhood really in Ohio were playing a lot of 2K, and I really enjoyed that a bunch. I would say up till 5 a.m. playing 2K. It was great.
Yeah, as you said, my runner-up was Journey. What I'll say on this is that this opened my mind to indie games, smaller games. I was really into the AAA space for basically my entire life up until this point, and obviously indie games kind of came onto the scene with Apple Arcade, Xbox Live Arcade, and stuff like Castle Crashers and Spelunky and stuff like that. But I was not tuned into that at all. And then Journey came out, and I was like, oh, smaller games. I should check those out. Yeah. And I've since gone back and played stuff like Limbo and Hotline Miami from that same year or whatever. I played Hotline Miami way after.
Really?
I think I played Hotline Miami 2014 or something.
15, yeah. But yeah, Journey's brilliant. All right, 2013, Connor. Do we have the same duo?
No.
How do we not have the same duo?
2013, The Last of Us is one.
Yep, The Last of Us is number one.
And my runner-up is The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't even see The Wolf Among Us when I was
GTA
scrolling.
or Bioshock Infinite? I'm going to guess Bioshock Infinite.
My pull is Bioshock Infinite. It's very close, though. I love GTA 5 a whole bunch. But Bioshock Infinite is a game that, as I continue to sit with it, we played it last summer. I'm getting lower on my experience with Bioshock 1. I'm at a 9 with Bioshock 1 now. And I'm at a 9 also with Bioshock Infinite. And they're getting closer and closer. So much so that I love the aesthetic of Columbia so much. I love Booker and Elizabeth's relationship, so well performed. I feel like it doesn't do certain things as well as Bioshock, so that's why I hold Bioshock in a higher regard. But I still really love everything about Bioshock Infinite so much. So, and then The Last of Us is my second or third favorite game of all time. It's one of the best story games ever, if not the best story game ever. And shout out to multiplayer. so much fun playing that multiplayer growing up through the
Shout out
years.
to Factions, dude.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Factions
Man.
was rad as hell.
We played so much of that multiplayer. It was so fun.
Um,
One of my favorite memories of all time, just a little anecdote here, is I slept over at Brady's house for 2 days after The Last of Us came out. We had both finished the campaign. We both set up chairs kind of like back to back or like next to each other, but facing in different directions with TVs on the other ends of the room. And we just played The Last of Us Factions like till 4 a.m. both nights. It was awesome.
So much fun.
It's the best.
Oh, what's the runner-up?
The
Wolf Among Us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Telltale's best game. I just really love the characters and how weird this idea is of a bunch of storybook like fable characters, like classics like Snow White and the Big Bad Wolf and stuff like that, and seeing them in hiding in this like New York City, and like the rules that they have for staying in hiding and everything, I think is really cool and really interesting. So yeah.
All right, and then speed round 2014. What do you got, Connor?
Sunset Overdrive.
For me, I have Mario Kart 8 Original. 2015. What do you got, Connor?
Bloodborne.
I have Undertale. 2016. Uncharted 4 for me.
The Last Guardian.
2017. I wrote Mario Odyssey.
Breath of the Wild.
Which we're doing our favorites, and so that changes up my answer a little bit. I love Mario Odyssey. 2018, I've God of War.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
2019, I have Sekiro. I love Sekiro, but I was sitting with it more and more. I keep on thinking about RE2 Remake being brilliant. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Sekiro is my 2019 take.
No Death Stranding.
It's Death Stranding. It's Death Stranding. You're so
Over
right.
Sekiro?
Yeah, Death Stranding is in my top 20 favorite games ever.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Sekiro is a much better video game, like much better.
Mine
but
is Death Stranding.
Death Stranding is my answer also. 2020 FF7 Remake, another one of those. It's my favorite. The sword deals.
The Last of Us 2.
2021 Forza Horizon 5.
Inscription.
2022 Elden Ring.
God of War Ragnarok.
2023 FF16.
Alan Wake 2.
That battle for 2013. It's
2023.
2023. Yeah. Alan Wake 2 and FF16. Holy shit. 2 games I adore. And 2024 FF7 Rebirth.
Same. And the reason we just ran through that, just a reminder, we did an episode on what should have won Game of the Year a few months ago maybe at this point.
Yeah.
Where we went through 2014 to 2024. So if you want a more in-depth discussion on all of those games, you can go there.
Check that out.
You're already getting 2 hours of this podcast. So like,
it's a long podcast, y'all. Yeah. Today, we are drafting video game sequels. I cannot believe we have not done this one yet. Connor and I talked before the podcast. We are not having RDR2 on the board because it is a prequel, technically. Just want to say that now before people get in the comments. You get the first pick. Connor, what do you want?
With my first pick, I'm going to go with Mass Effect 2. One of the greatest casts in video games, building off of the floor that Mass Effect 1 laid and really streamlining that experience. I think this is a perfect sequel. Mass Effect 2, my second favorite game of all time, with my first pick.
My first pick is Portal 2. This is a top 10 game of all time. I don't know where it is for me in the top 10, but I can promise you it's in my top 10 for some of the best games I've ever played. It has one of the best story campaigns I've ever played. It has one of the best co-op campaigns I've ever played. Atmosphere. These puzzles are unbelievable. Just it does everything so well. It is basically flawless in my mind. So easiest first pick for me ever. And then my second pick is The Last of Us Part 2. I love The Last of Us Part 2. I love The Last of Us Part 2 with my entire heart. These characters, this story that they go on. I think that how rich it is in themes is unbelievable. Easy pick for me. I picked 2 10s with my first 2 picks. So yeah, Last of Us Part 2 with my second pick.
With my second pick, I'm going to go with Uncharted 2. I think this is where Naughty Dog really solidified itself as one of the big dogs, pun intended, in the gaming industry. And it's all been kind of gas from here, but Uncharted 2 is kind of that inflection point where I think they took that next step. One of the greatest video game openings of all time with Uncharted 2. That's my second pick. With my third pick, I'm going to go with a very special game to me and many others. We're going to go with Kingdom Hearts 2. I think that this is one of the best action games of all time. From a combat standpoint, I think it's really well refined in comparison to the first one. From a story perspective, it just gets way grander than Kingdom Hearts 1. And I personally prefer the more focused scale of Kingdom Hearts 1, but Kingdom Hearts 2 really does make things feel a lot bigger. So yeah, that's my third pick.
With my third pick, I'm going to choose Alan Wake 2. I love Alan Wake 2. I love Alan Wake 2 so freaking much. I know that I have 18 games listed out for this draft. It is the most I've ever listed out for a draft board because there's so much talent when it comes to the sequels. But Alan Wake 2, I think, is deserving of a 6th pick in a draft like this. That's how freaking good Alan Wake 2 is. If you've not played Alan Wake 2 yet and you somewhat have any interest in horror games, it is brilliant. And with my 4th pick, I'm doubling up, baby. I'm doubling up on 2023 games. Give me Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is freaking unbelievable. The sequel to Breath of the Wild, Ascend, Master Hand, some of the best tools in all of video games. When you talk about creativity, I don't know if it gets more creative than Tears of the Kingdom. So that is my number 4 pick. Connor, what you got?
With my 4th pick, I'm going to go with Halo 2. I don't have the same like multiplayer memories that a lot of people have with Halo 2, so I don't hold it in that same high regard, but this game is essential to that online multiplayer experience for a lot of people, and obviously it gets us to Halo 3, which is my personal favorite. With my final pick, I'm going to go with the greatest 2D platformer of all time. We're going to go with Donkey Kong Country 2. Visuals, soundtrack, platforming, it's got it all. It's all top of class. Donkey Kong Country 2 is my final pick.
I have so many directions going. I'm not going to choose Metal Gear Solid 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty wild for me. I'm not going to choose Smash Melee. I want to give some fighting game love, but I don't think I'm going to go there either. I think I'm going to go with Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Wow.
I love this game, dude. Multiplayer is so good. The zombies, you have 3 A or S tier zombies maps with Buried, Mob, and Origins. Origins is looked at as basically a masterpiece. Also, just shout out the Call of Duty Zombies story in Black Ops 2. Not nearly enough credit for how complex and interesting it is going through that journey with the 2 different crews. So yeah, I adore Call of Duty BO2, and that is going to be my last pick.
I had BioShock 2 as a runner-up. I'm just going back to it as a honorable mention. Modern Warfare 2 as well. Smash Melee. Yeah, that's what I had.
RE2, Metal Gear Solid 2, or RE2 Remake, Metal Gear Solid 2 Remake, Little Big Planet 2, Soul Calibur 2, shout out Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Mortal Kombat 2.
You said Metal Gear Solid 2 Remake, by the way.
Oh, I did. Resident Evil 2 Remake, Metal Gear Solid 2. Those were the ones I was tossing out there. Little Big Planet 2, Soul Calibur 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Modern Warfare 2, Smash Melee was the other one that I was really debating between for my final pick. And Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 was really close to making an appearance on this list. I really love Death Stranding 2. Yes. Death Stranding 2 for me is, as I've just sat with it, I think that it's sort of how you feel with Donkey Kong, where you're just like, this game's just one of the best. Like, it's just top of class. It's so freaking good. So yeah. All right, Connor, close out this episode.
All right. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. We'll see. Oh, wait. Nope. We have to read our Patreon.
Heck yeah.
Member names.
That's a great call. Attaboy. I did not have it on my show doc. I was like, names.
This show feels like it's ending too fast. Well, I got you here. Just another reminder. Extra Life, August 23rd on Saturday. I know some people don't like listening to Housekeeping, which is totally fair, but just want to keep hammering home that we are doing a charity stream. So we would love it if you would tune into that.
Yep.
This show is made possible by all our lovely Patreon supporters. The members at the highest tier get their name read at the end of each and every podcast. Members like Trace Hurd,
Crumbly Els,
Sir Shellis,
Lumos,
Ooh Gracie,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
Swampy Bits,
Jack CT,
Tristan C,
Sconesy,
Srack in 1978,
Dinkelberg Rules,
Censuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Go Nash,
Das Goopy,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Stooby Dooby,
Nuke This Kingdom,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Bug,
Metal Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Yogi,
Cowboy Jesus,
sorry I messed that one up, Damn,
Holden M,
Colin C,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
there you go, Dr. Pookie Bear,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Bad Fella,
Only One Rufus,
Drifter X1, Skirt,
J Matt B3,
Goops,
Ali Benali,
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.